The speaker, in choosing a career, makes a very bold and interesting argument. His main position is that his society, and he's speaking specifically about the Muslim community. The UMA has reduced education to a purely economic decision. Parents push their children toward medicine, engineering, accounting, or architecture, not because of passion of purpose, but because those careers pay well and guarantee a job. He argues that when a young person says, I want to study history, the family immediately reads it, asking, who's going to hire you for that? His point is that by doing this, we're turning our best and brightest mind into what they call skilled laborers. People who are specialists, yes, but it's still just workers, and in the process, we're neglecting the thinker, the people who study humanities, historians, socialists, psychologists, political socialists, the one who actually shape how society thinks us operate. He even goes as far as saying that historians and theologians should be among the best paid researchers because they give direction to society. Do I agree or disagree? I partly agree with his position. I think he raises a very valid point that is not exclusive to Muslim community. It's sometimes we see everywhere, and honestly, is sometimes I be witness in Colombia too. A lot of students choose their career based on what their parents say or what seems like a safe job, not based on genuine interest or aptitude. That leads to professionals who are technically skilled but may not display engaged with what they do. However, I also think his argument simplify things a bit. The reality is that economic pressure is real. Many people's many families in developing countries simply cannot afford to take that risk. Studying history or sociology invaluable, but without a clear path to finally stability, it becomes a privilege. So while I believe we need more critical thinkers, more people who study the humanities and contribute as society intellectually, I also think the system needs to change first. University, companies, and governments needs to start valuing those disciplines more concentrically before we can tell young people to purpose them without fear. The future of work and automation. But the video and the article by James Manjica agree on something important. Automation is already transforming the workplace and it will continue to do so. But it's not as simple as robots are taking our jobs. Advantage of automation. First, automation increases productivity. When machines handle repetitive or dangerous tasks, humans can focus on higher value works. The article mentioned many fees like higher output, better quickly, fewer errors, and capabilities that go beyond what humans can do alone. Second, automation can help economies grow, especially in countries facing aging population and labor shortage. One of the speakers in the video makes a strange point. Because of demographic change, we simply won't have enough workers in the future to sustain economic growth. So machines working alongside humans is just an option is a necessity. Third, automation is creating new types of jobs. The classic example give is the ATM machine. People assume bank teller will disappear, but in reality, the number of bank employees increased. They just shifted to selling financial products and providing higher value service. Technology changed what people do, not necessarily how many people work. Disadvantage and risk. On the other hand, the risks are real. The article states that around 16% of all occupations have at least 13% of their tasks that are technically automatable right now, and while only about 5% of jobs can be fully automated today, nearly every job will be partly affected. This means many workers, especially low-skilled ones, will face wage pressures and displacement. The challenge is just unemployment. It's what one of the speakers called a massive redistribution of work. We need to reskill people, create new roles, and make sure the transition doesn't leave entire communities behind. There is also the concept that this time might be different from previous industrial revolution. In the past, machine replaced physical labor. Now, with AI and machine learning, machines are starting to replace cognitive tasks, decision making, pattern recognition, analyze. That is fundamentally new threat. My personal point of view, I study civil engineering, so I see automation as something that is already changing the way infrastructure and construction projects are designed, made, and built. In my opinion, automation is mostly positive because it can make construction safer, faster, and more efficient. For example, technologies such as drones, BIM, modeling, and basic design software, and automated machine helps engineering reduce errors, automates materials, and improve project planning. Automation can also reduce accidents by replacing elements in dangerous tasks on construction sites.